Welcome back everybody to the channel. It's Raul Alejandro Mendoza, or the Nerdy Chicano. Either way how you say it, it's all good here. And we're back for another installment of Between the Frames, as we continue our journey through the World of Wong Kar-wai box set from the Criterion collection. This one right here, this baby right here. We just had a flash sale pass for Criterion.com, so if you guys picked up the World of Wong Kar-wai set, let me know by putting it down in the comments. Put it down in the comments, or you know, what's it called? Tweet at me and stuff like that. But yeah, we're continuing on as we look at his 1997 romance drama film, Happy Together. And yeah, really excited, guys. We're almost done with the box set. This is actually a lot easier to get through than the Fellini, because this doesn't have like 15 discs in it, but the journey is going well, and we have 2 more films after this. But it's been a great journey, and if you have been enjoying the journey through the World of Wong Kar-wai box set, you should leave a like on this video, or you should subscribe, and you should subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss a single lick of content here on the channel. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this, y'all. Of course, before we even talk about a movie, we have to read from Criterion.com. So, Happy Together, one of the most searing romances of the 1990s, Wong Kar-wai's emotionally raw, lushly stylized portrait of a relationship in breakdown cast Hong Kong superstars Tony Leung Chiu-wai and Leslie Chung Kwok-wing, as a couple traveling through Argentina and locked in a turbulent cycle of infatuation and destructive jealousy as they break up, make up, and fall apart again and again, setting out to depict the dynamics of a queer relationship with empathy and complexity on the cusp of the 1997 handover of Hong Kong, when the country's LGBTQ community suddenly faced an uncertain future. Wong crafts a feverish look at the life cycle of a love affair that is by turns devastating and deliriously romantic. Shot by ace cinematographer Christopher Doyle in both luminous monochrome and luscious saturated color, Happy Together is an intoxicating exploration of displacement and desire that swoons with the ache and exhilaration of love at its heart-tearing extremes. As our entry for Happy Together here on Criterion.com, and of course the film is written and directed by Wong Kar-wai, as most of his films are. You know, it stars Leslie Chung, Tony Leung, and Cheng Chen. Cinematography is done only by Christopher Doyle on this one. Only Christopher Doyle. And yeah, the film is 1 hour and 36 minutes long, and it is in Cantonese. So, this is my, as much as like it is with most of the films on this set, this is my 3rd time watching this film. And what do I think? I love this film. The funny thing is that the first time when I watched this film, when I watched the old version of it that was put on Blu-ray in not here in the United States, I watched it and I thought, you know, this is good, but it's not as great as like In the Mood for Love and Chungking Express. So, you know, I had only watched those 2 films before, and I kind of said, you know, I'll revisit this one, because maybe I'm not giving it as much credit as it should get. And you know, I went through other films in his filmography, like As Tears Go By, Days of Being Wild, and I kind of understood exactly what it is that Wong Kar-wai usually goes for in his films. And I reached this one when I did my first run through this set, and I loved it. I loved the film. I thought that it was wonderful, and I gave it, you know, it's 4.5 out of 5, and I found it to be a really interesting depiction of love, of heartbreak, of relationships, especially the way that, you know, that Wong kind of carries and so what I'm trying to say here, and the way that he kind of depicts a queer relationship in this film. It's really interesting, and I think it goes for something that's out of the ordinary, that doesn't really get depicted as much in contemporary cinema, like the way that Wong depicts it in this film. And yeah, this 3rd time is pretty much the same thing. I love this film. I think that it's incredibly acted by Tony Leung and Leslie Chung. I think that they're their chemistry is just incredible. I can't pick a single moment where I don't believe that they're not a couple. Like they feel like a couple, they fight like a couple, and they love like a couple. And I really like all those moments within this film because you can really tell that those two had so much chemistry with each other. The music is wonderful in this film, and it just creates this atmosphere within Argentina that you would think that Wong doesn't know much about because he lives in Hong Kong, but you know, him being the fan of the music from Latin America and Spain, he's gone to Argentina and he knows that area, and it's wonderful. I always fall in love with the soundtrack time and time again. And you know, the other characters in this film, like the guy from the work that Tony works at, and I like him a lot too, and just all these side characters that you get to know within the film make such a wonderful film. And it's definitely one of my favorites from Wong Kar-wai. It's ranked highly, it's ranked low, but it's rated highly for me. And it's one of those films that I love revisiting all the time, especially because of Christopher Doyle's cinematography as well. Now, let's get into the restoration. Happy Together is presented on a 4K digital restoration on a Blu-ray disc, like every single disc in this set. I'm probably going to keep repeating that for the rest of these other videos just because it's the right thing to do, I guess. 4K digital restoration of the original camera negatives, and it is presented in a Blu-ray disc. I watched it on my Panasonic Blu-ray 4K Blu-ray player on a Samsung 4K TV with HDR, and it has that upscaling capability. So I watched this in a pretty nice setup. And video aspect wise, this movie looks wonderful. It does have new color grading. This doesn't have, there are scenes that look the same from the other one, but just obviously, you know, tampered to look better. And you know, the reds, the yellows, they pop out so well. And there's also scenes, like a specific scene where Tony and Leslie's character are dancing tango in a kitchen, the communal kitchen from their apartment building, and the color grading is obviously different. And I, for one, don't really have a big problem with it compared to the old restoration. I think this one still looks good. I don't think that it's much of a drastic change like some of the stuff that you'll maybe see in the next video when I talk about In the Mood for Love. But in this case, this film still looks fantastic, and there's nothing really wrong with the video restoration, and there's nothing really wrong with the new color grading. I think that everything still is well crafted, so that way you can feel like the movie is still from 1997 while still maintaining the nice picture quality that they were able to maintain because of restoring from the camera negative. Now, the audio, I'll go first and foremost to say that the soundtrack, score, and stuff like that sounds fantastic. They did a great job of restoring that. This film has lost a little bit of its voiceover because of a fire, and that is no judgment at all to the way that I saw this film, but I can't lie and say that there were moments in this movie where I really felt that there was something that was missing. And it sucks that that was possible, but it's nothing that I'm going to hold too much against the film, because you can't control fires. You know, those are things that happen, and you know, you lost those audio tapes. But either way, the audio still sounds great, and they did a good restoration on that, and making sure that everything sounds crystal clear and crisp. But it just sucks that the original voiceover, some of the original voiceover was lost due to a fire. But this is another great one in this set. It's definitely on the bottom of my ranking of the restorations. It's nothing like Days of Being Wild or Chungking Express, but it's nowhere near being as different as Fallen Angels. But it's one of my favorites on the set, and it's one that I'm always loved being able to revisit because it is a classic from the master of cinema, Wong Kar-wai. But of course, if you want to stay up to date with all the things that I do on social media, make sure you follow me at The Nerdy Chicano on both Instagram and Twitter, and on Serialized and Letterboxd under the same name, The Nerdy Chicano. Make sure that you follow my Twitch channel as well at twitch.tv/The Nerdy Chicano, and stay tuned to this channel for a lot of stuff about physical media and all the stuff that you love about cinema. And of course, if you want to stay up to date with all the things that I do on the Nerdcore, go to thenerdcore.com, and also go to YouTube and Twitch at the Nerdcore, and make sure you watch us and listen to our podcast and do all that wonderful stuff, because there's a lot of cool content that we put out over there. But as always, I will go ahead and see you all in the next video when we talk about Wong Kar-wai's masterpiece, his 2000 film In the Mood for Love, as we continue our journey through this box set. But in the meantime, my renowned cinephiles and scholars, celebrate the love of cinema today, tomorrow, and every day after. I'll see you on the next one.